Why? Why not? Yeah, we're okay. We're all here. So I was saying to Sarah, couldn't get the partner or something, so we ended up together. Um, we can start small. Don't go to the most difficult loss. After this, I want you to work on a history of losses. And you write down loss of material, loss of relationship, loss of something that was dear to you, loss of, right? Um, and how you dealt with it, or how somebody guided you to deal with it. And think about, if it was a person, think about these three aspects, so you can kind of make a completion with this person. Go through that and then come to the hardest one. And you might have to do this a few times with one person, because you keep remembering, right? Oh, you didn't cover this area. Oh, now you got to cover that area. But it's how awful is it, right? That we get to have incomplete, we didn't say, we didn't do, we didn't get. So before I go any further, does anybody have, how did it go with your session?
I was just sharing with my partner that as soon as I started writing my letter, I was just tears were falling out of my eyes, and I knew right away that what was that this task, that this today's journey was just so cathartic, that there was a change happening, and that this was beneficial for me, and that this was exactly what I needed exactly at the right time. And I was, I was writing and I was thinking, this is good. I'm going to work on this now. I'm going to work on it later. I'm going to, put it in his coffin on Friday. And then when we got to speaking to each other, I was tearing and crying a little bit, and she was tearing and crying. And we both apologized to each other beforehand, saying, I'm sorry, but I'm crying. And then afterwards, I said, we shouldn't have to apologize to each other for crying. It's something we're, like Manijeh said, we're personally, I think I'll speak for myself, conditioned as a child, being told, don't cry, I don't want to see you crying. And I'm more aware of it, but still, it's an automatic reaction to say, I'm sorry that I'm crying. And crying is just, it's so helpful. It's
Yeah.
more about, not wanting to make someone else feel comfortable, but uncomfortable. But I know it makes me feel better after I've cried. So that was just an interesting dynamic, that we both experienced the same emotional reaction, and we both apologized to each other for it.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's a great observation. Yeah, to see how we go about, yeah, being uncomfortable. So we are socialized to not be uncomfortable, not express discomfort, not show it, right? Because then it's like we are burdening somebody else. But there are so many cultures, beautiful cultures around the world, in the Native African, Native American, other places, that they actually they know the pain, and they give room for it. They allow room. For example, even my culture, where I come from, I was born in Iran. I mean, this was like 40 years ago. I left 45 years ago. I don't know if it's changed, but I don't think so. What they do, when you lose someone who's very close, spouse, child, father, whoever, they wear black for 1 year. To me, it was absurd. Oh my God, I'm not going to wear black. I lost my child. I'm going to wear white. But the significance of it, I understood later, was that everybody in the society, when they see you, they know you are mourning. They know you are wounded. And it's like, give me permission. If I'm sad, if I'm quiet, if I'm not saying anything, if I don't want to get up and dance, if I don't want to whatever, look, I'm wearing black. You could understand, right? And then the tradition is that someone very close comes at the end of, so the year has passed, the anniversary of memorial whatever has passed, someone will come to the person and bring new cloth or new clothing or new cloth, meaning now it's time you could change, it's good, it's enough, whatever the encouragement is. Now, of course, sometimes you don't feel it. You don't really feel the whole year. You don't want to wear black too, right? It's so unique with every relationship. You do not want to wear black, but then now if you don't wear black, people are going to judge you. Oh my God, this person is not as sad, or you have to not pretend. You see that it's being socialized, but not thinking that, like when they do laws, right? They do laws to protect some people, and then that same law they're protecting some people, like in hospitals, for example, they want to protect patients, mentally ill patients, from being misused, and then those protections I've heard that work against some of the nurses. The patient become violent towards the nurses, and then there is no protection to the nurse. You know what I mean? So we as human beings are constantly trying to to come up with strategies to neutralize discomfort, neutralize pain, and these strategies we make them standard, and then they don't work standardized, as a standard implementation. Same thing with cultural things, we are socialized to do that. And so you could see, Maria, that all the healing you have been doing, right, all the beautiful things you've been doing, retreats and yoga and being with yourself, feeling this pain, they have been incredibly helpful. But still there is that incompletion of the, right, of something that needs to be addressed. And so pretending that I should have healed by now, right, that's very harmful. Pretending that I should forget. And so also sometimes healing is sort of thought of as forgetting. If I heal, I forget. I can't forget, so I can't heal. Especially if you're a mother, if you're, like you have a sort of an identity of responsibility to feel bad and continue feeling bad, or a sister, or right. So no, 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 you are not responsible to suffer. You're not obligated to suffer, no matter what, no matter who did what, who committed what crime, who did wrongdoing. You're not obligated to continue to suffer, to continue to be unhappy. There are unfinished business that I'm hoping when I send you a post email, I will sort of summarize some of these things and give you the homework that you have to continue doing, which is now looking at your history of loss and kind of going through the same process with each one of them, yeah, as it's, makes sense. And then sometimes, and then no, that's internal. Then you have the external, your environment. Then you have to adjust. Some people make a shrine out of somebody's room. Never touch anything, leave it exactly the same way. What does it do? I don't know. They feel loyal, or they feel like if they do that, they keep the person alive or something. But it's not letting go, it's clinging to that relationship which does not exist anymore. The person, their spirit, their heart, their being is there, but we can get stuck with doing things. Like for myself, for I don't know, at least 2 years, I went around the world. I took my son's ashes with me. I went to New Zealand. I took his ashes there and buried it. I went to Thailand and took his ashes, put them in the Kauai River. Oh my God, like the most romantic, painful thing you could do, right? Kauai River, I've always seen it in like a Rocky movie or something, right? Rambo movie. I mean, not Rocky, Rambo movie or something, right? That I could never be at the Kauai River. Oh my God, I'm releasing my son's ashes. It's going. I went to Japan and I took his ashes to Nara Park where all the deer are and put it in the river I went up into the ocean and spread it into the ocean. I mean, he's everywhere. He's all over everywhere. Okay, so I went to England and I took his ashes with me. All these monasteries I traveled to, I stayed, I for my healing. That's what I could. I knew what to do. Thank God I had all that. And her teachings about life and death and not suffering and loving kindness and self-compassion, all of those things were very, very helpful. But at the end of the day, there is a very unique relationship I have, which I can tell you. There was another death I experienced, a loss I experienced just recently. One of my dearest, most best friends ever, she passed away. And I'm talking about Marge, Maria, you know her. This person was an anchor, honestly, an anchor to everything I did. But my grief and loss was and is very, very different with her. I knew she told me about, I don't know, 4 years ago that she got cancer. She was gonna live for 11 months, whatever. So all this time, because I knew she was gonna pass away, every single time I saw her, I gave her my utmost respect, kindness, and attention. I lived with her as if this is the last moments I'm going to see her, as if this is the last time I'm going to see her. I literally was so present, believing that this is it. And I knew the day will come that they'll tell me she's passed away. I knew. So, when she passed away, and she had asked me to go to her funeral and give some words from this perspective of this practice we do, the mindfulness, the meditation, and all that. And I did that for her. And I feel the most fulfilled. I have no pain. It is such a easy, easy, easy grief for me because I lived with her fully. Not lived, but I saw her maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. But every time I saw her, it was the most precious time. Sometimes she would talk and talk and talk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, in my mind, like, oh gosh, okay. And then I would become alive, like, oh, wait, this could be the last time. I would completely let go of my judgment or impatience or whatever. And I would just listen to her. And anytime there was an opportunity, I showed her respect and kindness. So at the end, I see the difference between this loss and any other loss. Similarly, with my father, during his passing away, it took, the last couple of years of his declining, declining, declining. I was utmost kind, compassionate, and present with him. His passing away, I grieved for, I think, I woke up one day and I realized, oh my God, the whole house is not trash, but messy, cluttered. Things are, dishes are not washed. But I realized, oh my God, I've been grieving or something. I all of a sudden snapped out of it. It was 1 week and I was okay after that. Why? Because of the connection I made with him was genuine, full. We talked about things, we said all the things we needed to say. So this is a lesson not just to recover from loss, right? But to see every single being in front of you as if this might be the last time you see them. Either you will pass away or they will pass away. It's inevitable, right? To not table anything, to not hide anything, but to be kindly expressing and communicating with the other person. So changing environment, maybe, some people have joined accounts. You could stop it. You could end it, go do your own account. Some people have, hold on to stuff, of a loved one. Really look at, not from the perspective of this was his or hers, but from the perspective of what is the usefulness of this item here today, right? You may keep something for memory, but memory doesn't die. You will never forget this person. It is not true that if they, if I don't keep them alive, they won't stay alive. And someone said, it was so beautiful. I don't know what teacher said, or that we are what we leave behind. We are what we leave behind. So that's it. They are what they left behind. We can't take that away or change it. They are what they left behind. And so we can give it room, allow for it. So I will send you an email with a little bit more instructions and the name of the book and all of that. Um, what do you think about doing a day-long retreat with this kind of a work? Which there is more to it, and I didn't have time to. I mean, there is already one set for June 13. We could. I'm willing to convert it to this. Think about it. Nodding head means I'll think about it, or yes. So thumbs up. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So let's just right now open your microphone and give any comments or questions before we close the session. Has this been helpful for you? Some thoughts to bring to your process, some practice to bring to your process? Maybe we can go around and do that. And what are you going to do? Maybe what do you want to do after this, all this information? What's brought up for you that, oh, you want to do such and such thing? And Walter, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. uh, you can type it if you like. So who wants to, anybody?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I think this part of this I've already said today, but it has been incredibly helpful, more than I could have even imagined. I was already very thankful when I knew that you were holding a grief session today, being that this is a big week for me, like having my brother's funeral on Friday, but it is just has been magnificent. What I'm going to do to continue is to refine that letter that we started today, refine it thoughtfully, and write it out, put it in an envelope, and put it in my brother's coffin on Friday. I think that whole process will be very helpful to me. I would love to continue this type of work on June 13th. Did you say June 13th? Is that the date that you said?
Yes, it's going to be a
Yeah.
day-long retreat. Yes.
Yeah. So June 13th, unfortunately, I have two other things going on that I can't change. But if there's another date, that would be wonderful. I do also want to comment about Marge, who is the person that Manijeh just spoke about a friend of hers that currently passed away, and I knew she passed away. I didn't know that she was sick, and for the last 3 or 4 years, I had seen her at different classes or sessions, meditation sessions, and I just sensed from Manijeh and from others around her that there was great respect and kindness given to her. So I just decided that, of course, everyone deserves that, but this was just at a greater level, because as Manijeh said, she would sometimes take the floor and go on and on. Like, you can make a choice, like, I'm irritated or I should listen because she has something important to say. And I recognized from others that she was someone worthy of respect. And I'm glad that even though I didn't know that she was sick, that I gave her that
Wow.
respect and listened to what she had to say, because she was very wise in so many ways.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a very good example of, yeah, we don't know, but we can bring our best attention to somebody. Yeah, thank you. Maria, did you want to say something? I see your microphone
Um, I
unmute.
just want to say that I actually liked to even that I had tears in my eyes while I was talking. That actually I like to participate in the session and to talk about uh, the death of my mother, and that I also like uh, to to listen to other people, and that I think that if that it's a great opportunity to show respect to our own feelings and to the feeling and to other people's feelings.
So, is there something you would like to get to talk to say, get it off your chest? I'd love for you to have that chance right now. I don't want you to leave feeling these there was something you want to talk about. Go ahead. I'm sure we are all loving
Um,
and wanting to know.
I just want to say that I didn't share in the beginning that my mom she committed suicide,
Mm.
and that normally I don't like to
Yes.
talk about it, but I have a lot of friends who knows what happened, and I uh, want to say that I I just felt sorry that she made that decision, but I always respected her decision.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you for
and
sharing that. Yeah. Go ahead.
and that she always wanted me to be happy and not to cry about her death. Even she told me while she was alive, and that I, I I I don't want to apologize that I still feel sadness to her or to anyone. It's just my feeling, and I just accepted it that it's still happening.
Yeah. Very normal, sweetheart. Very, very natural, very normal. And it's not, we do not want to try to wish it away or minimize it or anything. The one thing I would add is from my own process, when we practice this mindful awareness of our thoughts, something that has been very helpful to me to be vigilant about my thoughts and where they take me. So, for example, I was in Thailand one time communicating with my assistant here. It was very early in the morning for me over there. And then 2, 3 hours I had to talk. I was really tired. When we hung up, all of a sudden, this really painful grief came. And I started feeling overwhelmed by the emotions. And I looked up into the ceiling and I called out the name of my son. And so, and the moment I did that, it reinforced my feeling. And I saw that it was going to go somewhere, that it was not going to be the end of this emotional pain. I saw that I am tired because of awareness, I'm tired. I'm frustrated. Why it's taken me so long to talk on the phone when it's only like 7 a.m. I haven't even had breakfast or whatever. And now, and the pain of grief is hitting me right now, and I'm making it his fault, my son's fault, right? So immediately within like 30 seconds, I said to myself, don't make this pain his fault. He's gone, he can't do anything. And immediately it just shifted, and I realized, oh, it's not the pain of loss, it's I'm tired. So get up, go take care of yourself, go have breakfast, go take a shower, go, and learn that next time to tell your assistant, even though our time zone was different, I had to do whatever, tell her I need to do this first and then talk to you. You know what I mean? So it's a learning process of seeing what is the emotion that's showing up really belong to. It could be because we are tired, we are hungry, we are overwhelmed by something, right? And then it gets jumbled up and packaged with the feeling of sadness and grief of loss, right? So I encourage all of you to do your practice of self-awareness, mind awareness, do some quieting down, and then catching the where is my mind taking me. Or another time I would, think about, oh, the most bizarre thought came to me during Mother's Day. I said, because when I saw my son, his body, dead body, when they called me, I went over, he wasn't here. I was very peaceful because I was thinking of him and his soul, his spirit. I wanted him to be peaceful. So I was peaceful. I went to him. They wouldn't let me see him. Oh my God. I put up a fight like, it was like 5 a.m. and they said the coroner, you have to wait for the coroner for 3 hours. I waited. And on the street, he was at somebody's home. So I was on the street and they said, oh, the coroner said not today. Are you kidding me? I said, who the is the coroner? I am the mother. I put up a fight. But when they said, okay, we'll let you see him, when I walked towards him, I was peaceful for his benefit, right? So fast forward, on Mother's Day, I was thinking I should have cried very hard. Maybe his spirit would have heard me and come back to the body and not die. I didn't cry hard enough. Oh my God. Can you see the whole of that line of thinking, right? And then I realized, and I started laughing, thinking, oh my God, what kind of a thought is this now? That is going to be the death of me if I hang on to that thought. So that's another component of it. It's not just to finish relationship, but also notice every time you're hit with this emotion, expressing, feeling, and not allowing your stories to take and run with it. Like you may feel like, oh, I should have helped her. I could have helped her. I should have helped. Okay, you write it down, tell her all these statements, and allow this to be a sort of completion of the relationship. I'm not using the word closure because that could have other meanings to it. It's just the completion of the relationship. Little by little, it may be a several process, not one time. Is that helpful, sweetheart? Okay, good. Bhavinder, how you doing?
I um I heard that one of the other participants also had a family member or a close person who committed suicide. I would love to hear them what they what they felt about it.
Okay, good. Yes. Bhavinder, do you want to go ahead next and then we'll listen to Glenn?
No, I will allow Glenn to, yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead. Are you willing to share with us, Glenn, your experience?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, Maria, the scenario, as I mentioned in the beginning, is 10 days ago. 10 days ago, my sister called and just to show the pain a little bit. When she came home from work, my brother was visiting from Germany and was staying at her house, but he had I guess, some deep inner pain that he didn't express outwardly and kept it inside. And so when she came home from work and opened the garage door, she found him hanging in the garage. With regard to coping with that, I think one of the blessings for me, particularly Maria, was having my sister present and my going to Tacoma, Washington from Montana to be with her and sharing the experience together with an open heart, an open mind, a non-blaming position with regard to his choice of actions, and non-blaming of her. Maybe she could have done something the day before, or I could have done something from afar and I wasn't aware of. So it's letting go of that self-blame, that self anger, and also anger at the person for the choice that they made. Other things that have been helpful, I think, is very well said by Manijeh, is being aware of your own thoughts. I do remember, for me, since it was so close and the experience was so fresh in my mind, I do remember from my Buddhist trainings to think in the way of, it's almost a third person thinking, be aware of the thoughts that arise. And for me, from just shortly after discovering of his passing, it was very helpful to say, okay, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to look, think, observe is the better word, to observe what emotions arise, observe objectively without making judgment, to observe and allow those emotions to well up, to cry. Maybe if you want, you could, pound your fist, you can scream, you can yell, or you can sit peacefully. And then it's okay to watch them out of the context of our society, out of the context of what culture might say, what somebody else might say, and just realizing yourself that it's okay to have these emotions, that they'll arise, they'll manifest, they'll express themselves, and then by doing so, they pass away. Not that they all go away completely in one fell swoop. It's just over time to continue to allow those emotions, particularly related to suicide or sudden death, to manifest themselves and say it's all right. The last is, and it's a little bit harder for some of us maybe to conceive, is to non-identify, that it's not you, not yourself, that it's just an emotion that comes up. The unhappiness, the anger, the hatred, the discontent, the ill ease, that it is not in and of itself you. You yourself are just a passing phenomena that
Glenn, I'm gonna stop you for a second, because those are part of the process especially for grief, right? Not all of it, because we can distinguish or discern between the painful feelings of anything else. With grief, loss and grief is very unique, very special, very relationship based again, right?
yes.
So letting the emotion pass, obviously, it's gonna keep coming. You let it go, keep coming, and it may never stop coming. So we can definitely bring this this communication completeness with our loved ones, so that we can be sort of done with those emotions that are just coming up for a reason, you know? So they can become lessen and fade away, actually. So we can live fully. And fully doesn't mean just happy all the time, of course. Fully means being able to feel all of it, right? But thank you for that, and for your practice, definitely. Yes, very wise, very practical. But you see, this is the thing. You have to remember, this is not going to be the last loss. As long as we're alive, we're going to experience loss, some kind of loss, until we are the last one. So we can learn to relate to everything in our life, whether they're material or possessions, or our own health, or our own age, or our own internally towards ourselves, or to somebody else. We can learn to have a full relationship with that thing. Full if it's a person, full presence and kindness. If it's a material, not to attach to it. It's gonna break. It's gonna be lost. Something's gonna happen to it. So we live this recovery process is to realigning our relationships, right, with life, also. Bhavinder, you want to go?
I just wanted to share my reflection with all of you, as we all are in pain now when we lost our loved one. So one day when we will leave, our loved one will be in a similar pain.
Yes.
Right? So today, I have decided today, I'm committed today that I'm going to live my new life from now on with these affirmations. What are these? We all are an ocean, overflowing ocean of love, peace, joy, power, positivity, bliss, and balance. And we all are holistically complete, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Deidre, is there anything you want to share, sweetheart? I think you may be the last person, aside from Walter, of course.
Hi. I just this has been very helpful for me, and I hope to continue on with whatever homework you give us. June 13th, I would love the day long, but I'm gonna be out of town visiting my mom, and the first time I've seen her since my dad passed.
Hmm.
So um, it won't be a good date for me, but
Yeah,
if there's anything in the future, of course.
yeah, yeah,
And thank you for doing this.
yeah, my pleasure.
It's been helpful.
Good. So you
Yeah.
may want to share with your mom, not exactly very, structured
Yeah.
with her, but just in a conversation, mom, what would you have hoped to say to him? Or,
Yeah.
if you could, or what would you apologize to him for? Like it's
Uh-huh.
like kind of sharing the process with her since it's the same person, right? Uh,
Right.
and then in the process, you may be able to also express, yeah, I feel this way as well. I feel that way. I wish I could. Um, and not in a way that you're sorry you didn't, but in a from the perspective that you have an opportunity to express it,
Yeah.
right? Do you see what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because we
Yes.
can get caught up in the, oh my God, it's too late, I don't have a chance. But you are expressing, your letters are expressed to the idea of that person inside you, to the role that person had inside your mind.
Right.
It's
Yes.
not the physical person you're talking to, but to the idea, the role, the manifestation of them in the reality of them in your mind, right?
Yes.
So when you are talking to your mom, for example, sharing this, you have your mindful awareness. Point those things you say as if you're talking to him, right?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I'm quite anxious about going to see her. Of course, want to see her
Yes.
and can't wait to see her. So I think this will help me with that, like you said, to be able to talk with her.
Yes. And
Yeah.
don't hold back from crying, really. Like
Yeah.
Maria says, don't say, I'm sorry, mom, I can't help it. You may want to say that, but don't
Yeah.
let that be a kind of a blocker.
No, no.
It
My
may
mom
come,
knows that I'm a
right.
crier. I cry
Yeah,
all the
cry,
times.
cry. Yeah. But do you see what I mean? It's about completing the relationship with this person, not forgetting, not closing the door, not, right? It's not
Yeah.
like we're done with that person. No.
Right.
But as if there are some things we could have completed if we were, if that person was present.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Walter, you wrote, with loss, finding myself making stronger connections with others than prior to loss. Yeah, yeah, that's great. And please express anything else you want to in the chat. So on Sunday, we'll have the retreat anyway, but I think I'm gonna somehow incorporate some of this material without calling it grief, kind of a recovery thing, right? Because everybody can get educated about these things. about relationships, because we talk about loving kindness, we talk about interconnectedness, we talk about all these things. So I can actually present it in a way people can get educated. Sarah, sweetheart, is there something you want to say to before you leave?
No, not, I mean, maybe just a repeat of what I said at the beginning. I just value the experience of, um, sharing with others that feel that deeply at this moment, and share, just having a space where it's okay, where I just feel held in a way
Yeah.
when when I'm with people that I know that sort of understand my feelings and, um, what I'm going through. And, I'm also grateful to just get different viewpoints. As I mentioned before, I went to therapy before, and it was, at times very confusing to me to get these concepts that didn't apply to me. So
Mhm.
it is, good to just keep learning, and I want to read the book that you're recommending to us, and also keep attending the classes, the mindfulness classes, and yeah, keep working on these things.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I am taking about the 3 months sabbatical from teaching. The retreat I will teach on Sunday, and then of course it's a semi-sabbatical because I'm still gonna continue teaching the class for the seasoned practitioners. We're combining Wednesday and Thursday to one class. I'll be teaching that, but what I'm doing in that 3 months, I'm finishing my book, because it's really the basis of my book is about all of the things we don't know how to do well, right? And I believe that whatever we learned or whoever taught us anything, at the end of the day, it is our own interpretation and our own kind of configuration. And so I believe that we make up our own, we design our own human software. That's what I'm talking about. And then this human software has two designs, two models, one that gets us stuck, unhappy, unfulfilled, and one that can be optimized. So I will be talking about both of those in my book. And emphasis is on the right education. And of course, anybody who gave us the wrong education, it wasn't their intention to do so, but this is how it is. So um, put away the 5 stages of loss, forget about that. Being a survivor of something, forget about that. Time heals, forget about that. It doesn't do it. Um, Death is everywhere, belongs to all of us. Okay, yes, but then I still feel a hole here, right? So work on this, and go be kind and gentle through stages, and share with somebody, get a partner if you can to work this with. If you find somebody who's willing, say, I took a class, there are a few exercises I have to do. Would you be willing to share? I share this with you for you to listen, for you to, hear um, my discovery, right? And see how it goes. Okay, be kind and caring for yourself. Hmm. Yeah, go ahead, unmute yourself if you want to thank each other. And
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, especially Manijeh, for extending our class. Every moment
yeah,
was really special. Thank you.
yes, my pleasure. It was necessary. Yes. And Walter, sweetheart, thank you for being here. I'm sorry that you couldn't, but your hearts, yeah, your thoughts and mind and heart is received. We see you, we hold you, and whatever you're sharing with us is felt. I appreciate that. Okay. So see some of you later.